This is a workflow for flux expansion. At present, his enlargement effect is the best. For example, here is a picture. Then this controls its size. Control his position in the picture. Then the size of the expanded image is set as this. I have the markings here. The effect of the first step of expanding the picture is actually perfect. The edge can see this clear junction. But the second step, blur its edges. Like this. Control the second time here to trim it. It will completely repair this edge. The fusion of this edge is completely gone. So this workflow is the best for flux to expand the map at present, because there is an obvious intersection before this. The expansion is completely gone. This way, we have achieved the most perfect enlargement effect so far. Of course, in many cases, the edge may not fall off in the first step. It's perfect. For example, here Anyway, just change it to 30. The second step is to strengthen its edge fusion. But sometimes it doesn't actually need the second step. I will explain the first step in detail later. This function is mainly to support the flux controlnet. This controlnet repair model developed by Alibaba. With flux model, you don't need to use an SDXL model to expand the map like before. Just use flux to expand the map. For example, the edge boundary is very obvious when the image is enlarged. This requires automatic down to the second step. Then this is mainly done by Lura. To redraw, raise it 1. A roll of edge blending. I will introduce it in detail later. I'm using the endpoint cloud. Online mirror is to open my mirror. If you update to the latest version, you will see my workflow. No need for local installation and deployment. Just open it and use it. If you update to the latest version, you will see this flux expansion and smearing repair workflow. Click on it and it may now. A workflow. Now you can use what I can use, because the images are the same. This is the benefit of online mirroring. Don't worry about deployment. If you want to install locally, you can open my notes. Click on the ComfyUI tutorial of my navigation. It will jump to the workflow side. I will separate the image into 2 versions later. Image and video versions, because these 2 models have different requirements for the operating environment, will conflict with each other, so it's better to separate. Haven't separated yet. There are color annotations here. The color of the synchronized terminal clarity is white. Purple is for unsynchronized or synchronizing. If it is red, that is if there is no purple. That means there is already a workflow in this node. Can download and install, etc. It just didn't sync to the mirror. The next update will be synchronized. Click on the first. There are some detailed model downloads and local deployments. There are also screenshots of the brief introduction and video tutorial. Workflow downloads are available. This is suitable for people who deploy locally. Okay, back to this one. For example, if the generated boundary is very obvious, the next step is to blur the edges of his mask. I have increased the blur to 60. Increase range by 100. He can perfectly remove this edge. You just can't see this boundary. It's a perfect transition. I'll explain this in detail later. We can try another one. If the first image is generated, it will be perfect. Then just rely on this to restore the model to normal performance. I will mark the steps of his instructions in detail here. It is very convenient for everyone to use. It's too obvious like this. Obviously not okay. So we can actually choose to pause in the first step. Then change the seed. Let him regenerate until you are satisfied. Go to the next step. This wave operation will be more perfect. For example, I would disable it directly in this step. Open it here. Because of the background. Remove this layer. Then I just open this step. Let it be on this step. Resume generation. You can turn it off first. This way you avoid wasting time dealing with an imperfect. Next step. I will introduce them while generating. The first step is to import an image. Then this is a reverse prompt word using the most powerful drawer present. Using Llama 3D. He will launch a perfect reminder word. No need to manually fill in the prompt words. This is a repeat of this one. You drag it over here. Right-click here. This is a copy. This is paste directly here. Copy, just here. Paste it here. Then this is the size you want to expand the image. For example, I change it to widescreen size. This is to set this function. Then this is to set this picture. On this artboard you just set up. Move left and right, move up and down. There is also a size chart of this screen. Now the size of this drawing board. If I change it down here, then his picture will become smaller. Move left this way. The image will move to the left. This picture on the moving line will move upwards. It is used to control the position of this picture on the screen. This is to control its size. Make it smaller, then you shrink it. Its image is reduced on the screen. This makes it easier to control the size of the expansion. There is no need to use Photoshop to make a mask like this, or something like that. It would be very complicated. Just get it all done here. This is one. Well, it's a process of edge blur. Then here is the indentation. This is to control the size of the edge blur. 15 you can also make it bigger or smaller. Finally, through this Controlnet repair model. This latest version supports the FLUX repair model. This is set to 0.95, which is very high. Then generate. Basically, you can get this kind of perfect effect. This boundary seems to be difficult to reach in one step. You may need to draw cards back and forth to achieve this one-step effect. This is an operation that requires drawing a card. To avoid you from repeatedly drawing cards. So we have the following workflow. The final image output here. I used the wireless link for this picture. Name it cut out this picture. Then press to proceed to the next step. Cut out here. Use this picture directly to process. For example, the effect is too poor. We'll go back. Just pick one. Please disable the following first. Be satisfied with the first workflow before moving on to the next one. Save some time, because the 4090 graphics card is used here, but running this large model is also difficult for him. It takes more than 10 seconds. 10 seconds is also time. Anyway, save as much as you can. Words like this, his first step was relatively perfect. When you feel it is okay, go to the next step. Put it on the edge. If your first one is perfect, the next one will be even better. Yeah, I understand. Otherwise, the first step is very bad. You expect to go to the next step. Oh, renovate or something. The difficulty is a bit high. This Laura, I'm using one here. A Laura with added details. I have a lot of Laura who supports FLUX. This entire page basically supports FLUX, a commonly used functional Laura. I won't add any special or impractical ones. You guys can add it yourself. Like this, a perfect result from the previous step. Then to the next step, he will combine the strong. It's even more perfect. All of a sudden you can't see the seam at all. But if I go back, you will see this obvious seam. So this step is also very important. This way you won't see the seam. The following workflow is very simple. It's actually a workflow for generating images from graphs. Mask. Increase the blur of its mask. Then the similarity is 0.95 because there is no need to change the image to a large extent. So just raise it a bit. In this way, the effect of expanding the map is perfectly achieved. Okay, let's go play.